Senator Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mrs. DeVos, thanks for being with us, and thanks for dropping into the office a few days ago.
Thank you, Senator.
Mrs. DeVos, there is a growing fear, I think, in this country that we are moving toward what some would call an oligarchic form of society, where a small number of very, very wealthy billionaires control, to a significant degree, our economic and political life. Would you be so kind as to tell us how much money your family has contributed to the Republican Party over the years?
Senator, first of all, thank you for that question. Again, was pleased to meet you in your office last week. I wish I could give you that number. I don't know.
I have heard the number was $200 million. Does that sound in the ballpark?
Collectively, between
over
my
the years,
entire
yes.
family, that's possible.
Okay. My question is, and I don't mean to be rude, but do you think if you were not a multi-billionaire, if your family has not made hundreds of millions of dollars of contributions to the Republican Party, that you would be sitting here today?
Senator, as a matter of fact, I do think that there would be that possibility. I've worked very hard on behalf of parents and children for the last almost 30 years to be a voice for parents and to voice for students and to empower parents to make decisions on behalf of their children, primarily low-income children.
Thank you. In your statement, your prepared statement, you say, and I quote, students should make informed choices about what type of education they want to pursue post-high school and have access to high-quality options. Some of us believe that we should make public colleges and universities tuition-free so that every young person in this country, regardless of income, does have that option. That's not the case today. Will you work with me and others to make public colleges and universities tuition-free through federal and state efforts?
Senator, I think that's a really interesting idea, and it's really great to consider and think about. But I think we also have to consider the fact that there's nothing in life that's truly free. Somebody's going to pay for it. And so,
yes, you're right. You're right.
So
somebody will pay for it, but that takes us to another issue.
I think
and that is, if I may, and that is right now we have proposals in front of us to substantially lower tax breaks for billionaires in this country, while at the same time low-income kids can't afford to go to college. Do you think that makes sense?
Senator, I think if your question is really around how can we help college and higher education be more affordable for young people as they anticipate.
Actually, that wasn't my question. My question is, should we make public colleges and universities tuition-free so that every family in America, regardless of income, will have the ability to have their kids get a higher education? That was my question.
Senator, I think we can work together, and we could work hard on making sure that college or higher education in some form is affordable for all young people that want to pursue it. And I would look forward to that opportunity if confirmed.
Would you agree with me that if there is a mom watching this hearing who makes $30,000, $40,000 a year, single mom perhaps, who has to pay $10,000 or $15,000 a year for child care for her daughter, that is a burden that is almost impossible to deal with? What are your proposals about making child care universal for our working families? Do you have ideas on that? Do you agree with that idea?
That certainly is a burden, and I can understand the challenge that family, that young mother would face in deciding how to best serve her child's needs. Again, I think if we're talking about the future of that child and their education, I would look forward to working with you. I know we have common ground on a lot of things, and we could find ways to work together to ensure that young mom's child will have a great opportunity for a great education in the future.
There are countries around the world which do provide universal, very inexpensive or free child care. Would you work with me in moving our government in that direction?
Senator, again, I feel very strongly about the importance of young families having an opportunity for good child care for their children. I'm not sure that
But it's
that's
not a
part
question
of
of
the
an
education
opportunity.
department.
It's a question of being able, very often my Republican friends talk about opportunity. But it's not a question of opportunity. It's a question of being able to afford it. How do we help somebody who's making $8 or $9 an hour at a time when we can't raise the minimum wage here because of Republican opposition? How do we make sure that those moms can get quality child care that they can afford?
Well, I would look forward to helping that mom get a quality education for their child or their children so that they could look forward to a bright and hopeful future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders is such a hypocrite. You know, he has the nerve to sit there and promote Hillary Clinton, who's funded by a billionaire, multi-billionaire, George Soros. George Soros is an evil, evil man. Just look up what Monsanto's does. So, I mean, I'll give you a clue to what he is. But Bernie Sanders always talk about the billionaires and the super rich and the 1%. And he never talks about who the 1% really is. You know, the 1% is the group that make at least $418,000 a year. So they're paying at a tax rate of 39.6%, which that's a lot. I mean, that's almost 40% of your annual income. That's a lot of money, you know, but he doesn't care about that. You know, he just wants to keep pushing this narrative of billionaires, billionaires, billionaires. You know, well, these people that make this, you know, a few $100,000 a year, these are the people that eventually start up their own businesses. You know, they employ people. So when you're a business owner, I worked with small business. I worked for small business owners anyway with some of my jobs that I've had in my lifetime, and you know, it's not cheap. You have to pay insurances. You have to pay unemployment. You got to pay workman's comp. You know, these are taxes that you have to pay extra. So not only are you paying, you know, your income tax and your Social Security and all these other taxes, but you're also paying those taxes of workman's comp and unemployment. There's a lot of money coming out of your check. So if you're going to sit there and start a business up, and you're paying your employees more than you can make, what's the point in doing it? There's no initiative to do these things. You know, and Bernie Sanders doesn't care about that because he's a millionaire crony too. He really is. If he's going to support Hillary Clinton, who's getting paid by George Soros, he must be a crony of it. You know, the problem with raising minimum wages is not helping anybody. It hurts people more than it helps. You raise the rate of minimum wage and everything else goes up. So how is that helping these people that are making minimum wage? You know, it doesn't make no sense. And I don't understand how these people are supposed to be super educated don't understand that. You know, Bernie Sanders, he doesn't understand that. These people on the left don't understand this. They just want to make more money without having to go and work hard for it.